Today I'd like to talk about a producer that went sideways and started committing crimes rather than selling insurance policies. We had a gentleman who was a licensed agent, had his own agency for many, many years, had been very successful. And at one point he started specializing in something called surety bonds. And if you're unfamiliar what a surety bond is, it's essentially what subcontractors get, and they will give that surety bond to a contractor saying, I can build this portion of your mall or this portion of a building. And if I fail to do so, you can call in on this bond, and it's basically an insurance product that will cover anything I fail to do. These surety bonds can be millions and millions of dollars, depending upon the size of the project. This particular gentleman said he decided he would create his own insurance company, not licensed anywhere on the planet Earth, and ultimately created 4 fake insurance companies. And he ran all 4 out of the basement of his home here in New Hampshire. He had no financial wherewithal to back any of these claims that would be filed, and he ultimately sold about $175 million worth of coverage that was completely worthless. Just to make things worse, a lot of these documents had to be signed and notarized, so what he did is he started forging the name of someone who had died many years earlier. And this went on for years and years. He probably started this fraud back in around 2006, and I started with the state in 2008. My first interaction with him is I did a search warrant on his house immediately, and I seized a bunch of records, and we started working from there. A few things happened. The case did not quite go forward at that point. But a few years later, he resurfaced again with one of his fake 4 companies, and again, he began to sell about $28 million worth of fake insurance products. At that point, I went out, did another search warrant on his house. I seized all his records, seized his computers, found all the evidence I needed, and it was a fantastic case. Except, he was smart enough to know that after meeting with me in 2008 and kicking in his door, he did not want to sell any products in New Hampshire anymore because he never wanted to see me again. So the sales of all these fake insurance products were all outside of New Hampshire, which made venue an issue for prosecution. I met with the United States Attorney's Office. He loved the case. He said, Brendan, you just got to prove to me, at least for a mail fraud, that he received some mail or used the mail system in connection with the fraud, and that that mail occurred in the state of New Hampshire. Back to the old-fashioned police work, I started speaking with some of the contractors he had worked with in the past, and was very lucky and found that he was just getting ready to send another fake surety bond worth over $1 million to Connecticut. Watched him as he went to a FedEx store, this is where he made his fatal flaw, in Salem, New Hampshire. We pulled the video of him going into the store, and then pulled the video from within the store that actually showed him mailing the fake bond to Connecticut. We then received it at the other end, so now we had the fake bond from Connecticut. I met with the U.S. Attorney's Office, I showed it to him, and at that point we went forward and indicted this gentleman for about 5 counts of mail fraud and 5 counts of wire fraud. And he, after looking at all the evidence that we had collected, had nothing else he could do except plead guilty in an open courtroom. He has now been found guilty of multiple felony charges in federal court, and his exact whereabouts and what prison he may be in is unknown at this time. To report insurance fraud, email nhfraud@ins.nh.gov, call 1-800-852-3416, or visit nh.gov/insurance.